to pay homage to the author. And thank you for indulging me and letting me do this. I don't know if this semester has been this way for everybody else, but I kind of feel like it is one thing after another, you know?
Yes.
It is exhausting, and this piece of literature has always been extremely healing for me. So I hope that if you also are not doing so well, that it can be that for you too. So this is The Saddest Homecoming Queen in Ohio by Allison Pohle. On the 5-year anniversary of being crowned my high school's homecoming queen, I lost my shoe getting onto the subway. I made this really dramatic leap through the closing train doors, and my black ballet flat just slid off of my foot. It landed about halfway between the yellow "Don't cross me or you'll lose a limb" warning line and the concrete beyond. Something that belonged to me was stuck halfway between safety and jeopardy. But the train just kept going. I turned around to look at the other subway passengers, who were all just staring at me. I shrugged, and as these things happen, I mean, isn't life just so funny? Kind of way. And decided what to do next. I wasn't going to walk around with one shoe. When we lose things, we go back to finding them. My identity crisis in high school was a little bit deeper than hormones and teenage angst. Still am, clinically depressed. I didn't think of myself as anything more than a person just trying to survive from one day to the next, much less queen of the school. But I'd been fascinated with homecoming queen since the 4th grade when I first saw this girl crowned at a high school football game. The teacher placed this sparkly silver tiara on her head, and the girl's parents cried, and then her friends cried, and then the girl cried. When I was 9, I wanted to be homecoming queen so that I could get that tiara. But when I was 17, I wanted to be homecoming queen so that my parents would cry happy tears, instead of the ones that they cried because they couldn't figure out how to help me. I thought that being homecoming queen would help me achieve the elusive goal of feeling happiness, no matter how fleeting, but I was deeply mortified at the thought of being recognized in front of the entire school. Oh, even worse, my high school made candidates nominate themselves for royalty positions. No, you couldn't have a friend do it. Instead, at lunch, you had to walk all the way to the front of the cafeteria, past all of the cliques, to this wooden table where you would then announce, "I would like to run for homecoming queen." And then you had to write your name down, so that everyone could see that you thought you were cool enough to be deemed queen of the entire school. On the last day to self-nominate, my feet followed this maze of condiment-stained tiles to the front of the cafeteria, where I mumbled to the table, not the people sitting at it, that I would like to run for homecoming queen. And then I signed my name in nearly illegible cursive because my hand was just shaking so intensely. I spent the whole rest of the day trying to smile in the hallways and look up from my notebook in class so people would think that they were voting for a real person instead of just some sad robot. My more outgoing theater friends made their buddies in the show choir, drama club, and band promise to vote for me, thus securing the artsy kid vote. Oh, my mom made hundreds of buttons. I had no idea why we thought that high schoolers were going to wear buttons. I actually went up to this 14-year-old kid one day at lunch because he was alone and drinking chocolate milk through a straw. He seemed approachable. I asked him if he would please consider voting for me for homecoming queen. If he did, he could have a button. But if he didn't, he could also take a button. He didn't take a button. I left the freshman hallway and just put the button bag back inside of my locker. And later I would tell my mom, who was wearing a button when I got home from school, that I had given them all away. When it came time to vote, I just stared at my name on the ballot. See, the night before, my parents had warned me that people were going to ask me if I had voted for myself. And they said that not only should I say yes, I should actually vote for myself. If you don't believe in yourself enough to vote for you, then why would anyone else, they asked. Good question. Finally, during halftime of the football game, I walked out on the field. I don't remember hearing my name being called. What I do remember is a flash of pictures and a crown being placed on my head, and then being shooed off of the field so that the actual football game could continue. I remember that my parents were crying happy tears. And I remember that my friends were crying happy tears, and I remember that there were all of these people who were just screaming in the bleachers. And the thing that I remember the most is that for the first time in months, I couldn't cry. Being homecoming queen didn't solve anything. Surprise! Being teen royalty only lasted for like 24 hours. No, but really, that year the yearbook staff actually forgot to make a page in the yearbook for homecoming, so it isn't even documented anywhere. I don't think about being homecoming queen all that often. And I think that that's because I know now that those of us with mental illness aren't looking for crowns or titles. We're just kind of searching for a sign that there's people in our lives that care. And it's only now, in hindsight, that I can finally see that people did care. I know now that my mom made those buttons not because she cared if I won or not, but because she wanted to wear her love for me outside of her heart. I know that my friends did behind-the-scenes campaigning and get people to vote for me. I mean, they spoke up for me when I just couldn't speak up for myself. I lost so many things in high school. Okay, these things were left in a different place entirely, the place of seemingly no return. I lost homework and permission slips, but I lost friends. I lost interest in everything that I used to love. I lost myself. And I didn't go back to find any of these things. So I get off at the next subway stop. Okay, I hop down the stairs on one foot, pogoing on one leg, and desperately trying not to let my shoeless foot touch the ground. I get on the subway going in the opposite direction. I ride it all the way to the end, and when I get off, my shoe is still there waiting for me. It is exactly where I left it, just waiting to be stepped into. And I realized that not everything is going to be okay, but, you know, some things will. One man claps just like Cinderella. I'm not a princess or a queen. I'm a person who has lost a lot of things. And I think that now I am ready to go back and find them.